Welcome back to my channel, everyone. I have a special guest today, Alyssa Starnes from Oklahoma City. And Alyssa has an amazing story because you are in your third year in real estate. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
This is your third year.
Mhm.
And in your first year, you told me you closed 2 or 3 transactions.
Not very many at all.
Let's call it 3. Second year, you closed 9. And then last year, 22.
Yep.
Actually, if this is your third year, anyway, you went from 3 to 9 to 22. And the best part about that is these 22 are mainly, I don't know if it's 100%, I don't remember if I asked you that, but they're for sale by owners and referrals from for sale by owners that you sold and closed, which means like your sellers are really happy because they're referring people to you too. So Lisa, I know that obviously, I think most people know that I'm obsessed with for sale by owners and expired listings. But since you've been focusing on FSBOs, I want to talk to you about that today because my goal in having you share what you've done, how you've done it, what you've learned, what you're still learning is to inspire anyone that's watching this interview right now, because a lot of the people that come to my channel are new to real estate and they're told to do different things that doesn't always make them money. So tell me, what is it that got you to just start calling for sale by owners?
Well, I was doing no deals at all. I had 2 children to take care of. One of the reasons I really connected with your videos is I was, hopefully this isn't TMI, but I was in a bad relationship and I started real estate to be able to get out of it. So I didn't have any deals at all, didn't have a network, didn't know how I was going to find people to sell real estate
You
to.
didn't have a huge database of people that could give you business, okay?
No, and the ones that I had couldn't buy a house, just to be
Okay.
honest. So, yeah, I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew there had to be a way. This was what I was doing. So I just started scrolling through YouTube and stumbled upon you. When I originally started real estate, I started with a pretty high volume team. And what they did every morning was make phone calls. I didn't stay with them for very long, but I knew what you were saying. I believed in it. I knew it worked. I knew that was the way. So that's what I started doing. I started listening to your YouTube videos. I wasn't even on your training program. First 9 months, I just went off your YouTube videos.
Lisa, what did you do before real estate?
I was a teacher at my kids' school. I was on their schedule, wasn't making a whole lot of money. It was spring of 2020 that I decided to go get my license when they kicked us all out of school for COVID.
Right. Okay. And how old are your children?
They are 14 and 12.
Okay, teenagers. Wow.
Yeah.
You could be busy with teenagers than you are with babies, so I respect that. Okay, so you started watching my YouTube videos and you thought, maybe calling for sale by owners is a good idea. Did you, were you originally, like in the beginning when you started making the calls, were you using my scripts, or because there's so many out there?
Yes, actually, I think I probably spent about a week trying to internalize the scripts, writing them over and over, like you told us to do. And honestly, I wasted too much. It was only a week, but I wasted too much time doing that. And finally it clicked that I just had to start making the phone calls. And I was not good at all at it at first.
Well, yeah.
But
who's good at anything when they first start? That's thank you for saying that, because a lot of people start making calls and they get hung up on and people scream and yell and they're like, oh, this is not going to work. But everybody starts there, right?
Yep. Everybody starts there. I was terrible. My voice was shaky. I got hung up on all the time. But once I started getting those appointments, that was another thing. I hadn't been on a listing appointment before, a real one. So I had to build my confidence, and I pulled in front of so many houses that I knew I was going to get rejected, but I knew it was something that I had to do if I was ever going to get there. So,
Okay, so you started watching YouTube videos and started calling. And how long when you started calling FSBOs till you took your first FSBO listing? How long did it take?
uh, ooh, I'd say probably 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed on the phone. That was all I had to do was call people and try to set appointments. So
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
3 weeks seems like a long time to me.
Uh, Actually, it's not that long when you think about it. And then I guess you started feeling more and more confident and you started taking more and more listings. When did this all start? Because now, let's see, we're recording this, it's what, January 2023. So when did
Uh-huh.
you actually start this FSBO?
About a year and a half ago, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about a year and a half into real estate whenever I started doing this.
Okay. And then at some point you joined my coaching and training, SalesX training. And
Hmm.
how did that help you?
It's helped me a ton. I mean, I've got access to all the scripts. Anytime I need, just being on the live calls and being able to be like involved and in the community, it helps a ton.
Hmm. Yeah. And so give some advice to a brand new agent that is calling and is terrified or that is starting to make calls new to real estate and they're terrified of calling FSBOs. What would you say to them?
Um, so like you say, it's massive action. It's extremely uncomfortable at first, but once you stick with it and you continue to do it, you'll get into a flow, your confidence will go up, and your mindset just kind of makes a shift. Um, I know, like, once I started closing them, I had so many FISBAs tell me, "I'm so thankful you found me. Thank you so much." And that just made a giant difference in my confidence and my mindset. Because when I pick up the phone, it's not, oh, I hope somebody's gonna, like me enough to set an appointment. It's who can I help today? There's somebody out there that needs my help. So who can I help today? So it makes a world of difference.
And even though a lot of them, you're helping them because you're getting their reinforcement back. I mean, they're telling you that. But
Mhm.
initially, when you call a for sale banner, they sound very confident. They don't sound like they're looking for any help because
Yep.
they don't realize they have problems, and then they see that you can help them. So, in addition to having closed 22 transactions in 2023, you told me last week that you also have some active listings and pending sales right now in the
Yep.
middle of January. How many do
Yes,
you have?
ma'am. 3 pending and 5 actives.
That is amazing. And
Thanks.
I know you said you're working on your own. You don't have an assistant. You hired a runner to maybe open doors, take pictures, stuff like that, but you're working on your own. So you're making
Yep.
all the calls, you're preparing your CMA, you're going on your appointments, you're doing the whole thing.
Doing the whole thing, the whole shebang.
So how do you handle a for sale burner listing presentation? What does it look like for somebody listening? And maybe they know my script and they're a little nervous about saying if I can show you a benefit because they have no idea what the benefit is. How you knock on the door, how do you handle it? What do you do?
Um, so I do prepare CMA. I know some people don't like to bring their CMA or their booklets, but I bring that with me. And I think that makes a huge difference. Just being able to lay out numbers in front of them.
Okay, so
But
talking about a market analysis. I mean, anybody here going on a listing appointment, you better have a market analysis, CMA. Okay,
yeah,
great. So you have that, and then what do you do?
I, I mean, I walk in, like, my first thing is to have them show me the house. And we have a discussion about what their motivations are. And I just tell them what I believe I can do for them.
Mm.
I explain to them the law of supply and demand and how it's going to make such a huge difference in what they bring home. Like, if you think about it, on average, like you say, for sale by owner sell 25% less, the 6% commissions is just a drop in the bucket. So once you can make them see that, I mean, it's usually the end of it. They're ready to work.
So I think, I say that all the time to agents when they think the FSBO presentation is complicated. It really isn't. It requires you to be more confident than they are about what they're doing, confident about what you can do for them. But like you said, if you're able to convey to them confidently and they believe that you could actually bring so much value, it could be over that quickly. You don't have to go on and on. I think the problem that some agents have is they don't know what to say and they're hesitant when they're presenting. So obviously, if you're hesitant, you're going to make them feel like, I don't know about this. This is not. So I think confidence is a big part of it as well.
Yeah, it's a huge part of it. I think it means a lot more than the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Absolutely. Well, the words are important, but it's only 7% of communication, right?
Yeah.
Alisa, your goal for 2024 is 50 closed transactions.
Yes. Yes. So more than double what I did last year.
Okay. How do you see that happening? I mean, you believe that you can do that with for sale by owners and some past client referrals, or is there another avenue there you're going to explore? I don't know. There's no right answer. I just want you to tell me what's in your mind,
So
plan.
If I need to explore expireds, and you can tell me if I'm looking at this wrong, I will. I stay pretty busy here in Oklahoma City with for sale by owners. Of course, every appointment I go to, I'm competing, but there's just not quite as many people that I'm competing with. So I stay pretty busy. But my goal every day is to set 2 appointments a day. So, I mean, the plan is if I run out of FSBOs to call, then we move over to expireds.
Have you ever ran out of FSBOs?
No, I mean, brand new ones, yes. But then I start going through my follow-ups.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can usually set my appointments.
So you have enough for sale by owners to set 2 appointments a day if you're prospecting every day, because I know we talked about it, and it is, there's a little consistency you could work on, but you could very easily close 50 transactions all from FSBOs.
Yeah. Yes, I believe so, easily.
I believe so too. I don't know how many you have, but it sounds like when you closed 22 last year. Where do you think is your biggest opportunity? What are you working on? What do you need to learn, grow, and improve to go from 22 to 50 closed?
I need to improve my habits, my morning routine, and my prospecting every day. So the biggest stressor for me is handling the business I have while I'm prospecting at the same time, or making sure I prospect every single day. I'm bad about answering my phone when a client calls, and I know that's what you teach us absolutely not to do. So those are some things that I'm working on this year, and just making sure that I'm more involved in your training program, because I mean, I got to be honest, it's like completely changed my life for me and my kids. So
that's beautiful to hear. It makes me happy.
It changed everything.
Let's just clarify. I say don't answer the phone before 12 p.m. After 12 p.m., you could answer your phone, okay? If you're not on a listing appointment. It's just the morning, right? You got to focus on, and again, you have your business, your actives and your pendings to handle. After 12 p.m., girl, that's it. It's not like you're not going to do it. You just need to dedicate the morning, because if you don't dedicate the morning to prospecting, a lot of times, as you know, it doesn't happen.
Right.
That's the key. Okay, very good. So tighten up your morning schedule so you can prospect consistently, get more involved in my training. I love that because there's so much material there that you can benefit from. So again, there are a lot of brand new real estate agents watching this, and maybe sound good to them. They want to do what you've been able to do. She went from 3 to 9, and now it's all FISBOs, and it sounds like she knows what she's doing. Give them the top 3 things you believe a brand new agent that wants to be able to list for sale by owners. What is it that they should be doing? What do they need to do to make it happen?
Working on their mindset is probably, well, it definitely is the number one
Okay,
thing.
elaborate on that. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, that means making sure that you just do the work. Doing the work is the number one thing that helped with my mindset. Waking up in the morning, um, listening to your training, listening to something that's going to empower you and make you feel strong. Um, that's just mindset's been the biggest thing that's changed everything for me. Um, and the other one is massive action. Like, even when you're not feeling like it, make sure you pick up that phone and put yourself through it, because it does make a difference, a huge difference, um, in your mindset and your skills. And then the third thing is focusing on your skills and your scripts, making sure that you internalize those. Because
You
once you
sound like
do,
me. Mindset, skills, massive action. Okay, great.
well, I've been watching your videos, but
Good. Yeah, it shows. So that's good.
yeah.
I'm glad
um,
you didn't say something like, "Oh, I never heard that before." So, because I didn't know what you were going to say. So, go
yeah.
on. The
Um,
skills. What
the scripts.
specifically? How would you say they should improve their skills? What is it that they need to be doing? And what skills are you referring to?
Um, so the scripts I'm referring to, I believe your confidence and the way you communicate is also big on skills. But the scripts, I wrote those down over and over. That's how I learn. That's how I internalize. And once you use those in a conversation, it's not like you're really, like, it's a genuine conversation. You're not really using a script, but you're able to direct the conversation to where you want it to go.
You are using a script, but it sounds like a conversation. It
Yeah.
doesn't sound like you're robotic, like you're actually reading a script, because nobody wants to talk to somebody that sounds like that, right?
No, no, it's uncomfortable.
I got you. How is your schedule around your kids? Because there are a lot of single moms and they have children. They asked me to, because when I started, I had little kids. So
Yeah.
how do you manage? How do you manage to prospect, handle your transactions, your kids? How do you do it?
So I've basically just done everything that you told me to do when it comes to schedule. The mornings for my prospecting, the kids are at school or working on their own things. When they're out of school, like today, we're out of school for ice and snow. They can kind of manage themselves. My appointments are in the afternoon at 2 and 4. And the weekends I save for my kids. The listings that need open houses, I offer those up to people in my brokerage. They usually take them. And I'm able to be with my kids on the weekends.
Ah, that's amazing. Yes, you have the weekends off. So
Yeah.
unlike, a lot of agents that are working 7 days a week. So that's awesome. Congratulations. It's so exciting to hear your success. For me, I know that any agent can do what you've done. And I told you before we even started this, you're just scratching the surface. That
Yeah.
the potential is so huge. And it makes me so happy to know that you're actually doing what I say. Because people watch the videos, you're like, oh, yeah, that sounds really good. And then they turn around and don't do anything. So I guess that's the missing piece for a lot of people. So
Yep.
congratulations on taking action. And
Thank you. I didn't have a choice. I needed deals. So
how about closing those 50 transactions in 2024 so we could speak again a year from now and you can tell the story of how you made that happen?
yeah, we're gonna make sure that happens this year. That
So,
would be amazing.
yeah. Thank you, Elisa. It was great speaking with you. For everybody watching, if you have any questions, post them in the description below. Let us know if you have any comments. And thanks for watching. We'll see everybody soon.